Last but not least, folks, I want to show you this. You might have seen this before in my other problems, but take note, we can still do this, alright? So what type of figure is this pink guy? Yup, if you say that it's a rectangular pyramid combined with a rectangular prism, you are correct. And solving for the surface area and volume may be a bit hard. However, just what I said, it implies the application of utilizing what you've learned to solve for the answer. Okay? So now let's do this, alright? So now we have a rectangular prism. The base is 7, the height is 3, the width is 3, and the height is 3.5. And the height of the entire figure is 8 cm. How do we solve it? Very easy, diba? So here's how we do it. First, let's solve for the surface area. How many faces does it contain? You know, in a rectangular prism, it should consist of 6 faces, right? Pero in a pyramid, how many faces? 5. Tama? And then altogether, you just sum it up. Pero, there's a catch. There should be one face that should not be included. Which is it? The one here. Because you don't need to include this base because that is just a obscurance. And that's in the interior. Dapat yun nasa labas or exterior. Like for example, if you have a toy house, di ba normally you're supposed to have 9 faces? Bakit? Dahil may base to, tapos window, wall, wall, wall. Tapos roof, 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 roof. Tama? That's how you draw a real house. Okay? We don't care about that part because that's just the ceiling. Unless you want to add a floor. Pero we don't care about that in surface area. Okay? So that's why nga, these are the faces that should be excluded. Now, to solve for the surface area, mabilis lang talaga yung formula. And to be honest with you folks, I've already done the formula here. Face 1, that is the base. 3 times 7, which is 21. Then sa face 2, that is the sides of the rectangular prism, di ba? The sides, which is 3 times 3.5. 3 times 3.5 equals 10.5. Then we did the same thing again there. So, dalawang pairs. Okay? Then, front to back. That's 7 times 3.5, which yields you to have an answer of 24.5. And then, we still do more. Face 6, that's the pyramid already. Do you remember, for the surface area of a pyramid, you need to, do this. And good news, it's a rectangular pyramid. So, now we're back to base. Remember that this is 7 cm, then that one is 3 cm. Okay? Now, we apply Pythagorean theorem, which you see here. Di ba, ito yung Pythagorean theorem na ginamit namin. Ito yung 3 cm. 1.5, and then 4.5. Di ba, remember, nga pala, what is the height? Di ba, remember, it says here that the height of the entire figure is 8 cm. But the height of the prism is 3.5. So, to get the height of the pyramid, isubtract na namin. So, 8 minus 3.5 is 4.5. Yun. Now, we apply the Pythagorean theorem formula. 1.5 and squared and 4.5 squared. Ito yung ginawa ko. I square it, okay? And then we did the same thing here. And then this one, we summed up all the two numbers. We summed everything up. Then after that, you were able to get 22.5. Then once you're able to get 22.5 cm, we take the square root of that number. Diba, remember, taking the square root of that number will yield you to get the slant height of the pyramid. But in which direction? Diba, remember, kung nag-Pythagorean theorem tayo dito sa 3.5, it's supposed to be in this direction. So, dito siya. Okay? So, tama, dito siya, okay? So, that is the slant height of the pyramid of the 7 cm. Okay? Then, on the other side, we have 7, it's 3.5 naman. So, the formula still applies the same thing as follows, diba? Squaring, and then add the squares, and then take the square root, we get 5.70, alright? We take the square root, and that's our answer, diba? So, yan. Now, it's time to solve for the surface area and volume. To solve for the surface area and volume, mabilis lang to. Diba? So that is the surface area of the pyramid. So therefore, we have 7 divided by 7 times what is the height? Di ba? Remember the height? It's this one, di ba? The one that comes from the 3.5, the one that's here, di ba? 4.74. Then divide by 2. We still did the same thing here, di ba? Same proseso lang dito. Because they are congruent. And then this one, yung 3, it became the base of 3 times this one, which is 5.7008, and then divide by 2. We should get this answer. Same pa rin dito. Then last but not least, we add everything up. Isum na namin yung lahat. Nakita mo lahat yung mga hin-highlight ko? That is the one I highlighted. And with that, we should get the answer of 141.307 square centimeters. That is the surface area of the figure. Alright? Now, to solve for the volume. To solve for the volume, mabilis lang to. You just get the volume of the prism and the pyramid all together. Once you've already gotten the volume of the pyramid and the prism, you just add them together and that is your answer. Here's why. Here's how. Okay, so ganito yun. Di ba remember yung prism? It's just length times width times height. We did this and you should get 7 times 3 times 3.5. We should get 73.5. Then for the pyramid, the formula is, to solve for the volume of a pyramid, it's area of the base, 7 times 3 times the height, which is 4.5, diba? P29, that's up there, diba? The height. Where is it? Yan, ito yung height na kinuha namin. 4.5. And you should get 31.5 divided by 3. Summing it up all together, you should get a volume of 105 cubic centimeters. And that is the answer to our problem. It's tricky, but it still implies the application of utilizing your concepts that you learned when it comes to solving for the surface area and volume of shapes. Okay? Now, one more additional problem I would like to give you is the SOHCAHTOA problem. We have this is a triangle, right? A right triangle, diba? Ito yun. I'm sorry if you can't see it clearly because it's in pink. But I'll just change it one time. So I'll just have to tell you that, sige, I'll fix it now. Just wait lang. So yan, so diba remember this is the formula. We have a right triangle such that one angle is 40 degrees, this is 90, and this is 50 degrees, tama? Now we have to place SOHCAHTOA. Remember, this is the adjacent, this is the opposite, and this is the hypotenuse, diba? The hypotenuse measures 2 and 11/16 inches. So if we want to solve for the measure of everything, we must apply SOHCAHTOA. So if we're given the hypotenuse, we need to get the adjacent and the opposite. If you want to do the 40, remember, this is your hypotenuse, this is your adjacent, and this is your, parang ganito lang, di ba? Remember, ito yung hypotenuse mo. So this is your adjacent, this is your opposite. So if you want to get the adjacent, dito siya. So therefore, what function do we use to get the adjacent? It's hypotenuse and adjacent, that's cosine. So therefore, ganito yung formula. The cosine of 40 degrees is equivalent to the adjacent over the hypotenuse of 2 and 11/16 inches. Okay? Para mas madali, we convert that into a fraction. Okay? And I think I need to get a calculator for this one, so I'll be back. So yan, going back now to our calculator. So therefore, our formula is like this. For cosine of 40, diba remember, 2 and 11/16? That's supposed to be 2.6875. So therefore, 2.6785. Diba remember? 11/16. That's supposed to be 0.6875. So I'll just write it down na lang muna. Okay? Wait lang. Yan. Okay? So now this is our formula. It will go like this. Remember, the cosine of 40 degrees is equivalent to adjacent over 0.6875 inches. Alright? Then, remember, if we're going to solve for A, we have to multiply both sides by this number. So therefore, cosine of 40 times 0.6875 equals A. So let's input that to our calculator. Where's the cosine? Ayan, hanapin mo yung cosine, not the one with the minus 1. Cosine of 40 times 0.6875. Yan. And we should get the measure of 0.566. Dapat supposed to be 2 point, not 0.6. Mali. So, tama, 2.05. 2.0587441 inches. Let's get the ruler and check it out. So, yan. So, that's already what's going to happen. So, we have 2.508. Let's check with the ruler. Diba, remember, this is the hypotenuse, but we're getting the adjacent. So, let's see. Adjacent. Ito yun. Okay, let's see. Tama, it's 2.05 something. Yes, it's 2.05 inches. Maliit lang It's just 2.05 inches. Very konti lang. And then if I were to do that, to convert that into a fraction, ganito yun. If I were to put it in a calculator, let's do the cosine of 40 times 2 and 11 over 16. Tama. So tama, we still get the same answer. On fraction, it will go like this, di ba? 2.058 something. And 2.0858 is equivalent to some big number. I wonder what's the fraction form. Or if you like, you can put that over the number. So we just take this one. So tama, it's going to be this one over 1,000. Kasi it's like converting decimals into fraction. To convert a decimal to fraction, like for example, you have this one, that's a decimal, right? So we have to convert that into a decimal. So it's like 58 over 1,000. And if I were to simplify it to lowest terms, yun lang talaga. Pero never mind, we'll just keep it as a decimal na lang. Kung mag-fraction pa tayo, mahirap pa tayo dyan. Okay? So the measure of the hypotenuse is 2.05 inches. Okay? This one, that's supposed to be 2.675. Okay? Now, the last one, we just apply Pythagorean theorem. Mabilis lang to, di ba? Or, you can also play the sine, cosine, and tangent. Okay? Kung mag-sine, cosine, and tangent ka doon, dapat it should be the 50 degrees. Remember, you want the opposite, right? So, therefore, the cosine of 50 is equivalent to the adjacent over 2.6875. Multiplying both sides, so therefore, you get cosine of 50 times 2.6875 equals the adjacent. Plugging this to your calculator, it would look like this. Yan. So that is the measure of the adjacent there. 1.727. Let's see kung tama. Wait lang Confirmed. Kasi if you see the middle here, that is the 0.5. So tama, malapit siya sa gitna. So 1.72. Tama. So therefore, the measure is 1.72 inch. Okay? Or if you can apply Pythagorean theorem, pwede pa rin tayo. You can also do it this way. You can also do it this way. Halika. Yan, di ba remember that's the hypotenuse. So therefore, the hypotenuse is ganun siya. Let's write it first. Para hindi ka mahirapan. 2.6875 squared, that is the hypotenuse. Minus, di ba remember that's the one hypotenuse. So it's equivalent to x squared plus the one that we got a while ago, which was 2.05 inches squared. Then we subtract it, diba? So therefore it goes like this. Yan. We should get this answer of 3.02015625. And then, square root. Diba, remember, we take the square root of this number. 15625. Then erase all the other excessive numbers. Take the square root. Tama. 173. 1.73. Still the same. Alright? That's the one that we got in the rounded version. Okay? Or if you can try some other formula, you can also do it this way. Pwede ka mag-opposite. If you want to do opposite, you do sine of 40. Sine of 40 is equivalent to the opposite over hypotenuse, which is 2.6875. Then multiplying that number, we should get sine of 40 times 2.6875. You should get this answer pa rin. So tama, either way. Yun lang. And that's how we play sine, cosine, and tangent. Leave a like if you do like this video. Thanks for watching.